I want to say that we have with us today the very effervescent, young, fresh and green. May I ask you to welcome Honorable Floyd Green, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries. Please make him welcome.
Can we have a round of applause for our wonderful Master of Ceremonies, please? Big, big round of applause. Exceptional. I am very, very happy to be here. Let me say a special good afternoon to our mayor. I was in another place over the weekend, and he was introduced as not just the youngest mayor, but he was introduced as the most handsome mayor in Jamaica. It looks, and I come here now and I hear modeling on the same thing. So it looked like we're going to have to put that in your tagline. But Mayor Vernon, I commend you for the work that you have been doing. I can tell you that all of us are looking on and we are appreciative of your service, and you have definitely brought a lot of ideas, energy. I love when you come to agricultural related events because you have shown the connection between local government and your LEI programs and things that we do in the Ministry of Agriculture and the linkages that you always push for. So I look forward for us to continue to work together to grow agriculture across St. James. Clearly the President and members of the St. James Beef Farmers Association, our CTD, Chief Technical Director Palmer, is also here with us, and a number of our ministry teams are here with us, members of the media. It is my absolute pleasure to join you today for this is the second staging of the St. James Beef Farmers Association Health and Wellness Fair. Can we give the association a big round of applause? It's one thing to have an association which pull together like-minded individuals around a certain activity, but there's another thing to decide that you're not going to just stay in your confines and you're going to come and bring information to the people. And I love how you've paired this with the Ministry of Health, because again, beef farmers appreciate that health and wellness is at the core of what they do, and I'm very happy to see the support from the Ministry of Health here. And I want to congratulate the association on its continued growth. Based on my checks, you were formed around 2018 and you now boast over 60 active members. That is testament to your strength, to your cooperation, to your resilience, and by extension, to your contribution to our apiculture industry. That is not only commendable, but that is essential to the prosperity of Jamaica's agricultural landscape. The truth is, bee keepers, bee farmers are critical for sustainable agriculture. Sometimes we take for granted all that our bees do for our ecosystem. And the reality is that we would not have a robust ecosystem were it not for our beekeeping industry. So our beekeeping industry is vital not only for honey, not only for wax products, but because it plays a pivotal role in pollination and a greater impact on food security and biodiversity. Bees are responsible for pollinating at least 1/3 of the food that we consume. They support the biodiversity in relation to our growth of fruits, vegetables, and nuts that are essential to our diet. So when we think about bees, we should move beyond just thinking about their buzzing or thinking about just the honey, but really their contribution to our ecological balance. Despite this, I'm very aware that beekeepers face significant challenges. They face limited access to affordable inputs. Our beekeepers are being faced with more and more high operational costs. Unfortunately, deforestation is directly negatively impacting our beekeepers, and climate change. The fact that we've seen elevated heat and we're seeing longer droughts and more intense periods of rain, they are facing difficult times. And that's why as minister, I have looked to provide greater focus, emphasis, energy around our beekeeping industry. And not just to talk about it, but literally to put our money where our mouth is, to put our resources to help our apiculture sector grow. As such, through our apiculture unit and the research and development division, we have moved to ensure that beekeeping is a priority area. And under that, we're looking to remedy and address some of these challenges. So I'm not going to tell you what we are going to do. I'm going to tell you some of what we have already done, especially over the last year or so. In the past 6 months, we've been working diligently to bring about change. And as such, earlier this year, we established a beekeepers steering committee comprising of members of our beekeeping associations from all over the country. This is responsible for guiding the formulation of a new national Bee Farmers Association, which will bring needed structure, advocacy, and support to beekeepers. Again, a number of our sectors in agriculture have these strong national associations that advocate on their behalf. What we've seen for our beekeepers is that we've had a number of parish associations that go up and go down sometimes because of a lack of structure. We're trying to bring some overarching structure to our beekeeping farming industry. Additionally, we're looking to develop the next generation of beekeepers, and as such, on World Beekeeping Day earlier this year, we awarded 5 schools and 14 young beekeepers with grants. And what we're doing is we're using these grants to help these 5 schools set up apiculture units in the schools. Again, if we're going to have the next generation of beekeepers, we have to start from the schools, from introducing them to apiculture. And we've chosen 13 young people. We've given them grants of over $600,000, literally beekeeping starter kits. We give them the box, the first colony, to put them out there so that they can get involved in beekeeping. And we would have given grants to about 500 bee farmers to help them, especially in relation to inputs. We have also spent about $20 million redoing our apiculture lab at Bodles. And I think that deserves a big round of applause because, again, unless we're able to do the research work, unless we're able to help you out in the field when you're having challenges, unless we're able to monitor to ensure that we're not getting some things that we don't want in our bee sector, we will not move forward. And as such, we have spent significant money to upgrade our apiculture lab to put us in a position to do that. Clearly, a number of our beekeepers were impacted by Hurricane Beryl, and as such, we're providing some support. We have already earmarked $5 million to provide some support for beekeepers in our Hurricane Beryl recovery effort. We're going to be using that to ensure that we provide support for input in the form of things like sugar. We're going to be providing some restoration of colonies and equipment for beekeepers who lost their colonies. Through our collaboration with international partners such as Man Lake Limited, we have already secured some much needed pollen supplements at about $1.8 million that will help our beekeepers restore the vitality of their beekeeping population. And as such, that is in addition to the $5 million that we're going to provide for our beekeepers. So I say to our beekeepers, help is on its way. That money has already been allocated. We're doing it through our apiculture unit, and we're going to provide some support. Another problem that we've seen is that sometimes when people get involved in beekeeping, they don't really work out their cost of production. And as such, sometimes what they're charging is not putting them in a position to continue to be competitive and also to continue their enterprise. So one of the things that we're doing, Mayor, is that we have undertaken a cost of production study. And what we're going to be doing is to develop a cost of production tool that we will work with your associations like the St. James Befarmers Association so that you can help your farmers to calculate their costs of production. Additionally, we're going to put that tool on the ministry's website. So anybody who wants to go into beekeeping and wondering what is it going to cost them and how much money will they be able to make at the end of the day. You have to think about these things up front, because agriculture is a business. We're going to put this on the website, and we're going to do additional training and sensitization so that our bee farmers can enhance their productivity and, importantly, their profitability. And I really want to congratulate the apiculture unit. And just to show you, in terms of the work, it's a small unit, but they work extremely hard. Give them a round of applause for me now. And I tell you, since the start of the year, they have already inspected over 14,000 colonies. They have worked with bee farmers to establish more than 160 new apiaries. They have trained, inspected numerous farmers, and they have worked on safety and quality control to ensure that over 360 supermarkets and health food stores are inspected so that the honey that makes its way on the shelf are of the highest quality and standard. And that is why it's so fitting, because we focus on health, because we focus on wellness. It's so fitting that our St. James Bee Farmers are having this healthy lifestyle day. So another big round of applause. Very, very good move. So that is in relation to our apiculture unit and our apiculture sector and some of the work that we're doing to build that out. And clearly that is just a part of the work of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. We have been leading the Hurricane Beryl recovery efforts. Already we have reached at least 19,000 farmers that have been provided with some inputs, whether it be seeds, fertilizers. We would have started our chicken distribution program. You may not know, but in Hurricane Beryl we lost about 300,000 birds through Hurricane Beryl. And as such, we've already started distribution of 57,000 broiler chicks, targeting our most impacted parishes, starting with Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, and now we're moving that around. This week, going into next week, we plan to start our distribution of our pullets, our layer chickens, because again, we did lose a lot of layers, and we have heard from our egg farmers that they're looking at some contraction in terms of production numbers. We're going to help our egg farmers rebound. So we've already earmarked about 50,000 pullets that will be distributed over the next month to help our egg farmers get back out there. What we've also done this year in relation to our poultry industry, which is the first time we're doing this, is that not only are we helping with broiler and pullets, we are putting in place and have put in place $26 million to help build back chicken infrastructure. What we saw with Hurricane Beryl, not only did people lose their chickens, unfortunately, the entire coop went away. So for the first time, we're saying, if we're going to help you, it don't make sense to give back the chicken and you don't have anywhere to put it. So we're put $26 million for a chicken infrastructure project, and we're helping people build back their infrastructure so that they can get back into our poultry sector. Again, we have done some allocation, and I'll close on this one. We've done some allocation. Maybe it's because I see Ras Asta. And I know if I come up here and I don't talk about banana and planting, it might go cost. Right? But, you know, we did see significant losses in our banana growing areas. In fact, we lost about 64% of our total banana and plantain production. That is a significant loss. We had over 70 commercial farms that lost more than 50% of what they produce. So part of what we've been doing is to look into the areas where we've seen loss, but also into the areas where it hasn't been so bad, and see how we can ramp up production in those areas. So originally, we had earmarked about $40 million to help our banana farmers rebound, and that is in the form of providing input to them. But when I looked at it, a lot of our smaller banana farmers, those who operate on less than 0.2 of a hectare, were not being taken into account. We need to ensure that those banana farmers are also rebounding. So we have allocated an additional $38 million to target some of those small farmers in places like South St. James, well known for the banana area, and we're going to be providing some fertilizer input through RADA with the banana board to get those farmers back on their feet. It will take us some time in relation to our banana and plant recovery, but I want to really commend the farmers. I've seen them go above and beyond since Hurricane Beryl. You know, when I went out there and toured, I thought we wouldn't see any return of some local produce till about mid-October, end of October. But if you go to the markets now, you're amazed that our farmers have already started to bring back on things like tomato, we've seen cabbage, we've seen lettuce, sweet pepper. Amazing work. Can we give our farmers a big round of applause? And I just have to thank the ministry teams from going out there, holding their hands. We were able to respond to Hurricane Beryl 2 weeks after the hurricane. This is the quickest any government has been able to respond. We started our distribution of seeds exactly 2 weeks after Hurricane Beryl. And we were able to do that because we had bought the seeds before the hurricane, because we know some disaster going to come. If it's not hurricane, it's drought. So it's better you buy it and put it down so that we can respond quicker. And we're doing much better at that. So as I look at how far we've come, I really want to emphasize that the future of beekeeping is bright, and we will continue to work with our bee farmers to ensure that we have the collaboration, innovation, and the shared commitment to progress. Again, I would really like to commend the St. James Bee Farmers Association for being a shining example of what can be achieved through intention, cooperation, and community spirit. Together with the apiculture unit of the ministry, you have not only organized this successful health and wellness fair, but you have laid the groundwork for a healthier, more resilient future for our agricultural sector. Thank you, St. James Bee Farmers Association. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you, Mayor. I'm always happy to be here in what they call the friendly city. And let me sit down so that the people can come out of the sun. God bless you, everybody. Love you.